Zoom and find Sylvia. Okay. Okay, who do we have? Admit. Okay, Sylvia and Mike. Hello, shalom aleichem. So we now continue with Parsha Tetzaveh. We were talking about the garments of the. We were talking about the garments of the Kohen Gadol, and I'm going to share. I'm going to share here. Okay. Actually, let me try something else. I'm going to share. I want to see if it lets me share a bookmark. Okay. There. Okay. I'm just going to put in the Chumash. Okay. And there we are. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to go to Tanakh. And we're going to go to Exodus. And we're going to look at the Parshiot. It gives me the ability to look at by Parsha. And here we have Tetzaveh. And hopefully everyone can see it. Can you all see it? Good. Okay, so now where we are up to is the discussion of now we're going to talk about Aaron's garments. We talked about Aaron's kids, and now we talked about his garments. So, and I want to move to the Choshen Mishpat because this is really interesting. So, Choshen Mishpat, you shall make a breastplate of judgment. It says here decision. Maaseh Choshev, made in design. Now, important thing is that Choshev means literally reason or skilled. So Maaseh Rokem is a single embroidery. So you embroider a piece of tapestry, a woven piece of cloth with a design. So if you make a design, say as they had of stylized eagle, as they had in the Beis Hamikdash or lions. So from one side with Rokem, from one side the eagle looks to the left, the other side it looks to the right because it's a single embroidery. Maaseh Choshev is where you use a very thick weave, and there's a separate embroidery in relief on either side. So the eagle on both sides would look to the right because there's really two eagles or two lions. That is the distinction. So the Choshen Mishpat is Maaseh Choshev, which means that the design is replicated on both sides, and indeed, and then that itself was doubled. In other words, the ephod, the breastplate, which was hung on the ephod, on the apron, and was on indeed the breast of the Kohen Gadol, was made of a rectangular piece of very cleverly woven cloth that was then folded in half to form a square. And we'll see and on one side of it were sewed on gold settings, gold cups in which the 12 precious stones were placed. So, and what do you make it of? Zahav, a gold thread of basically beaten and snipped gold. Techelas, blue wool, agam and purple wool, salashani, red wool, b'sheish, masar, and again, this is permitting shatnez in the Beit HaMikdash, and woven linen, you shall make it. Revuyi kafel, it should be square when it is doubled over. Zeret arko, a handbreadth in length and a handbreadth in width. Most people, if you spread out your fingers from the pinky to the thumb, if you spread them out as far as they go, that will be about half of the distance from your from your wrist knuckle to your elbow, for most people. And that is a zeret is half an amma. So based on the standard usage that we use, that makes it approximately 9 3/4 inches long. So that's how big it was. So it's relatively small. Umalei-tabo malayat evan. And the choshen is miluat evan. It is filled with stones. In other words, it has 12 gold settings into which each setting is placed a precious stone. And the rows are as follows. This is Safari's translation. There are literally dozens of translations as to what these precious stones are. So Odem is typically, even though it says carnelian, so I'm going to go with the ones that are typically said. So Odem is a ruby, Pitida, say carnelite, chrysolite, uvareket, and the last is the Hator Echad is the last is an emerald. The other two are open to question. The next are Nofech, Safir, Yahalom. So Nofech, it says here, is the turquoise, which is an interesting question. I didn't look it up before the class, but turquoise is primarily a New World stone, no? Anyone know?
No. What, turquoise, you say?
That turquoise is typically found in the New World, not the Old World. Is that correct?
Well, the Native Americans are famous for using turquoise.
Right. My question is it found also elsewhere? Because the stones were created with the beginning of creation. So, yeah, let's see where it's found. So it's known both.
Turquoise is a combination of blue and green.
Right, but it's right, as a color. And the stone is found both in the Old World and the New World because it's found deep in the crust of the earth, and the crust of the earth was all made at the same time. So, by the way, you should know that even the Medrash speaks of continental drift. So, took place before Noah. So, and the Gemara says, "Sadna da'ara chadhu," that the crust, the base of the earth is one. And the truth is you find turquoise also underwater. So turquoise is found everywhere. However, he translates here Yahalom as amethyst. Most modern Hebrew and most rabbinic sources translate Yahalom as a diamond. And the third row, and again, each of these rows had the name of one of the tribes on them, each of these stones. The third was Leshem, Shemo, V'achlama, a jacketh, an agate, and a crystal. And again, there are many different. And the last, Tarshish, Shoam, V'yoshbe. Interesting. Turquoise is French for Turkish stone. Thank you. A beryl, a lapis lazuli, and a jasper. And again, we know their colors, by the way. There are midrashim that discuss their colors. They shall be framed with gold in their mountings, and they shall correspond to the names of the son of Israel, 12 corresponding the names. They should be engraved like seals, which means with a seal, you engrave into the stones. So when you seal with it, it sticks out. So each with its name for the 12 tribes. Now, and it's hung with gold chains, and I'm just going to go down because, it's a short, and Aaron should carry the names of the son of Israel on the breastplate of decision over his heart when he enters the sanctuary for remembrance before the Lord at all times. Inside the breastplate of decision, you shall place the Urim V'Tumim. So Rashi says that this was a folded piece of parchment with certain divine names written by Moses with great intention that has the power of conferring prophecy on any high priest who uses them. Normally, prophecy comes and goes. This is prophecy on demand. It's sort of like the original divine Google. So when a leader of the Jewish people had a question, he would go stand, according to Maimonides, he would go stand in the Holy of Holies with Aaron, the high priest, or whoever the high priest was, and the high priest would ask the question, and the letters, because all 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet were on the stone, because Yosef was spelled with a hey, and the letters would project either prophetically or in actuality. They would form a hologram hovering in front of the high priest's face, and prophetically he would know how to arrange the letters. But the Urim V'Tumim only answers lahavdil, like a computer, what you put in. So sometimes there were disasters because they asked the question, they didn't understand the answer properly. So at any rate, that's that the Urim V'Tumim. That's why it says it's a sign that, for Hashem, that it's placed over the at all times. The concept is essentially that the people always have the ability, when the first temple was standing, when we had the Urim V'Tumim, we always have the ability to ask Hashem, what we should do in a given situation that isn't a Torah situation, but is like a national situation. That's, for example, how David HaMelech found out about the plague and so on and so forth. And how the Jews, decided who should first go up and conquer after Joshua's time, as discussed at the beginning of the book of Judges.
Is there a medrash that in any way describes how the answer came?
Yes, so that's what I told you. So the Rambam is based on a medrash, and he says that the answer came in the form of the letters projecting either in the mind's eye or physically. They formed like a hologram. The letters would three-dimensionally pop out of the Urim V'Tumim of the breastplate, and you would see the letters in front of your face. Some say it was literally. Maimonides says it was in a prophetic vision. But you would see the letters.
Would they be whole words? Like there would be multiple numbers of letters for each word, like a moving film.
Well, no. Apparently, the letters would all show up at once, and the Kohen Gadol would prophetically know how to arrange them into the correct words. In other words, the letters would show up in the order they appear on the breastplate, whichever letters would show up, and the Kohen Gadol would unscramble them.
Okay.
That's the basic premise, and we'll explore some of the other aspects of the Kohen Gadol and all that in the coming days. Have a very good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. See you at the next.
Thank you so much.
See you at the next quick lunch and learn. All the best.
Thank you.